Hi there. Today I'm going to be reading you a story called Two Good Friends, written by Judy Delton. This story is really old. This book I got when I was in kindergarten, and that was a long time ago. I love this story because it's a story about friendship. And while I'm reading it, I would like you to be thinking about what makes a good friend. Are you a good friend? And has the people that you hang out with, are your friends good to you? So, Two Good Friends. The book is kind of falling apart because it's so old. Duck had cleaned his house. All his floors were waxed. All his furniture was polished. He was admiring his clean rooms when he heard a knock at the door. It was Bear. Come in, said Duck. But first, wipe your feet on the mat." Bear wiped his feet on the mat and went inside. "Make yourself at home," said Duck. "Thank you, I will," said Bear, and he sat down in a shiny rocking chair. Then he put his feet on Duck's table. Duck reached for a newspaper and put it under Bear's feet. "What do you have to eat?" asked Bear. "Oh, nothing," said Duck. "Nothing?" asked Bear. "Today I cleaned my house," explained Duck. "I did not bake." "Well, I have something," said Bear, and he reached into his pocket and took out 2 brownies. "Bear," said Duck, "you are spilling crumbs on my floor." And he reached for another newspaper and put it under Bear's chair. Bear looked at the newspaper. Then he looked at the 2 brownies. "Duck," he said, "you are a very good housekeeper. But what good is a clean house if you have nothing to eat? Here, have a brownie." Bear and Duck each ate a brownie and spent the rest of the afternoon putting a puzzle together. The next day, Duck went to visit Bear. "Duck," said Bear, "how nice to see you. Come right in." Said Duck. "What smells so good?" "I've been baking," said Bear, and he pointed to 2 honey cakes and 2 nut pies sitting on the table. "Brush the flour off a chair and sit down." Oh my, look at Bear's house. "Bear," said Duck, I can't sit down. My feet are stuck." "Oh dear," said Bear. "That's the honey. Would you like honey cake or nut pie?" he asked. Nut pie," said Duck, who had finally managed to unstick his feet. "I've had enough honey for one day." "Okay," said Bear, and he cut 1 piece of nut pie for Duck and 1 for himself. "May I have a plate?" asked Duck. "Oh, the plates are dirty," said Bear. "Well, then, may I have a fork?" asked Duck. "Oh, the forks are dirty too," said Bear. He looked ashamed. "Bear," said Duck, "how do you expect me to eat?" "I'm sorry," said Bear, "but today I baked. I didn't clean the house or wash the dishes. Maybe you can use your wings. The pie will still taste good." Duck and Bear each ate a piece of pie. When Duck finished, he licked the tips of his wings. "I must say, Bear, you are a terrible housekeeper, but your nut pie is the best I've ever tasted." Bear smiled. "Have another piece," he said. "Gladly," said Duck, and they each ate another piece. The next day, Bear went to Duck's house with a surprise. Duck was not at home, but Bear went inside anyway. He put 6 raspberry muffins on the table and wrote a note, "From Bear." It said, then he went home. When Bear walked into his house, he was surprised. I must be in the wrong house, he thought. His feet did not stick to the floor. The dishes were washed and on the shelf. He did not see his name where he had written it in flour on the table. Instead, he saw a note from Duck. I must thank Duck, thought Bear, but just then there was a knock on the door. It was Duck. "Thank you for the muffins," said Duck. "I was so surprised, and it's not even my birthday." "And I have never seen my house so clean," said Bear. "I was surprised too." "We really are good friends," said Duck. "Yes," cried Bear. "Let's celebrate. Come in and have some cookies." "But first," added Bear, "wipe your feet on the mat." "Of course," said Duck, and he did. So I really like how Bear and Duck are such good friends, and they always choose to do kind things for each other. All right, so I want you to be thinking about that story, and we are going to move this over here now, and I'm going to come up with some ideas, and maybe you're thinking of some of the same ones, for what does it mean to be a good friend? What does that look like? So I'm going to put this here in the middle. Here's our good friend. And then I'm going to come up with some ideas that are coming off of here, like this. And, you know, when I was thinking about the story, I was thinking that I noticed the page in the middle of the story where they decided, they were at Duck's house, and they decided to do something together. Here it was. They decided to do a puzzle together. And that got me thinking, that's what good friends like to do. They like to do some of the same things. So good friends like the same things. That's why they're your friends, right? Because you guys like to do things together. And I'm guessing that when they're together, they also, because Duck had a puzzle, he likes to share. And so Bear and Duck both did things in the story where they were sharing something, where they were either sharing the food or, like I say, the puzzle or a game. So good friends always share. And I think that's really important. And another thing that good friends like to do, and I think about the beginning of the story where Bear's house was really messy and really yucky, and Duck came in and cleaned it up for him. So that makes me think that good friends like to help each other, right? Because Bear wasn't that good at taking care of his house, but Duck was. So he came in and helped Bear do that. So I'm going to write something that good friends do is they help each other. All right. And I noticed that in the story, they also, and when I think about when I go back to liking the same things, I also noticed that they probably took turns. So Bear took a turn doing something nice for Duck. Duck took a turn doing something nice for Bear. Maybe when they were doing the puzzle or playing games together with a friend, you might need to take turns. So I think that's really important as well. So I'm going to write over here, kind of goes along with sharing. Good friends take turns. Here we go. Also in the story, I like how Duck and Bear sort of recognized what the other one was good at. And when you tell someone something that you like about them, that's called giving them a compliment. So I think that good friends usually do that when they're together. So I am going to say a good friend gives a compliment. And I'm going to move my paper over here like this so that I can reach. Gives compliments. That's a big, long word. I'm going to hope I can fit it on the paper. Compliments. Okay. We've got one left. So the last one I'm thinking, and this is a pretty obvious one, but I'm thinking that something that good friends do is they are kind to each other, right? That's, again, why you hang out with the people that you hang out with and why you're friends with the people you're friends with, because they're nice to you, right? So good friends are kind to each other. Now, you might have some other good ideas in your brain. So you're going to get an opportunity to take this out. Hold on, there we go. This sheet of paper out. It looks like this. And you can go ahead and write any of these here and put them in the circles, or you can come up with your own ideas. Think about you and your friends and what makes you a good friend and what makes them a good friend. So you're going to take these ideas and you're going to write them in the circles here. If you don't have this paper, you can certainly just get a blank piece of paper and draw something similar to this, and you can just write your ideas down. So for example, where it says good friends takes turns, I would write that here. Take turns. And I would put it in the circle right there. All right, you're going to finish these ideas on this paper using this, or better yet, coming up with your own good ideas.